Wow. It is the end of January. I am here live at 5 for another Divi project update, and I could not be more excited. Primarily because today is a very special Divi Live at 5. I actually have with me in the studio, which is actually just my house, my very good friend Jeff McCabe, and of course, our video producer Frisco, actually in person. This is actually the first time we've gone live together. Well, first of all, it's the first time me and Jeff have gone live ever together, at least in this setting. And I haven't seen Frisco in a very long time due to the pandemic situation. So I'm really just glad to have my friends back with me, not only in person, but also over the air. This is actually going to be a great episode for not just the Divi community, but the individuals who are maybe new to the project or just discovering Divi or even just discovering cryptocurrency in general. If you guys don't know what Divi is a cryptocurrency ecosystem that is aimed at creating an ease of use platform, an ecosystem for individuals of all skill levels, technical, non-technical, and otherwise, to access, use, and earn cryptocurrency as well as fiat currency, which is just your local currency if you're not aware. And that's really what Divi is all about. Our mission since we launched in 2017 was to make crypto easy. And that's why we launched the first truly one-click Masternode cloud installer that we call the Mochi, and that is still in use today and still generally regarded as the easiest way to earn cryptocurrency. The theme of this show, we always have a theme going on, is really just confidence. The year is just beginning, but really we're on the same track. Our team has grown. We've really spent a long time building up technology that we are ready to deliver, and we have a beautiful roadmap for the year to come. So I'm really excited to go over some of those things today. I would ask everyone watching to hold off on posting any questions. We always do an AMA at the end of these episodes, but just hang on because we actually start to lose the questions as people chat in the box. So if you can just wait until the end for the AMA, that would be absolutely incredible. So without further ado, let's hop in to projects and ventures. So, as I mentioned, it's a new year, but it's the same direction. We have not pivoted away from our fundamental mission of making crypto easy. We've been doing this since 2017, and we have no intention of stopping whatsoever. We really felt, even in 2017, that creating an ecosystem that made crypto easy would be the path to mass adoption in the future. A lot of people disagreed with that actually in the beginning, believe it or not. But over time, they've come to agree with us. And we really feel like we have really set a mission forward that positions us really well for when crypto becomes mass adopted. And I'm just going to read our mission statement directly from our website. Divi's mission is to accelerate the adoption of digital currency to make life better. We make crypto fun and easy. So exactly what does that mean? Well, if you're on our website, you can see this diagram. I'm going to have Frisco pull it up for us really quick and just take you guys through exactly what making crypto easy looks like, at least to us. So first of all, you have the Divi everywhere concept, right? We want to make Divi ubiquitous across all of these different networks and wallets and apps and exchanges and partners to allow for endless value creation opportunities. Basically, we want Divi everywhere. Divi payments. Now, obviously, cryptocurrency is a payments ecosystem, right? So it has to be part of our ecosystem. We're trying to make it low friction, low fee, and solutions that make finance easy and accessible to everyone, not just one demographic or one nation, but literally everyone, everywhere, no matter who you are. From there, you have to create use cases. No ecosystem of cryptocurrency is complete without their use cases. You have to enable Divi and its partners to provide elegant, user-friendly products and solutions to make, again, people's lives easier. And then finally, and this is going to be something that we talk about a little bit later, the Divi platform, which will end up being a robust, secure, and developer-friendly multi-coin and node system with an SDK that delivers on our development made easy vision, which again, we'll get into later. Basically, we're at this stage of crypto now where it's starting to mature. We're starting to see the institutions actually start to sell cryptocurrency to their clients. And we're seeing big institutions just funnel money directly into assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the other big assets. That will continue to trickle down as the industry matures. We're not even at $1 trillion market cap overall in the crypto space. When that happens, it's going to explode. Most big markets are multi-trillion-dollar markets. So this is a very, very nascent market, despite its attractiveness to those funds today. They are still getting in early. And we're starting to see some of the other big companies getting in, like PayPal, Visa, Square, and they're all really, really bullish events happening in cryptocurrency today. But what we've realized and what we realized back in 2017 is that the standards of the early adopter, the standards of those crypto savvy individuals are a little bit lower as far as accessibility and use. So we knew that we had to create one of the best wallets around, because once the masses start to really adopt cryptocurrency, they're not going to accept some of the, let's say, harder things or more arduous tasks that are required of using cryptocurrency. I mean, if you think about it, people who want a really good user experience today in cryptocurrency have to use a custodial wallet, whether that's an exchange or a mobile app that actually takes your coins. That's not safe. You should never give your coins or your keys to anyone, especially not some centralized company. So what we're building is what we call non-custodial. It's really important to us, and we will never falter on this, that all of your keys and all of your coins within your wallet are owned by you. That is the most secure and safe way to use cryptocurrency. And it's just something that we'll never compromise on, ever. So I want to show you guys some cool graphics that kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So if you see, this graphic that Frisco is going to pull up right now, it's really all about simplicity. Everything is there for you. Starting from the top, you have a really beautiful, avatar, profile picture. Your name is there. Your username is there. That's things that people actually expect to see, right? When you go into your Venmo and you go into your Cash App, you just have your username and your ID. Send, share your receipt, see your history. All of the things that, again, people just expect to see. You'd think that people actually, the developers in this space would have already thought of this, but for whatever reason, it's still lagging behind traditional tech. Well, we intend to bring it up to speed, but it's really not easy to bring it up to speed. It's actually quite difficult to create a crypto made easy application. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background with these apps that are decentralized, and I want to show you guys a little bit about what that means. If you check out, all the different pieces of the pie or pieces of the puzzle that we have to build, it's not so simple, right? Making something easy is actually quite complex. And these are in red highlighted the things that we are actually testing today and will be launching very, very soon. So obviously send and receive of crypto. So we have Divi, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin that you'll be able to use as soon as the wallet comes out. We already have about 70, 75 people in our beta testing unit testing that right now. But to me, the most important thing with cryptocurrency, and the first thing that we built as a team, was earning rewards with your Divi nodes and your staking nodes and your lottery. Right now, the testers are actually using the mobile masternodes, the M-Mochi we call it, and they'll get their hands on the staking nodes in the very, very near future. Now, you guys, a lot of you are using Mochi right now on your desktop wallet, and it's awesome. But the mobile Mochi is actually an incredible innovation even over that. And I think it's easy to forget how innovative and incredible this technology is because it is so easy. So just as a reminder, this is actually first of its kind patent pending technology that is still not considered necessarily just by us, but by many, many people in the space to be best in class. The video that I'm going to show you in a second shows that the Divi nodes only take about 30 seconds to set up from start to finish. They're 100% decentralized. The keys and the coins never, ever leave your wallet or your ownership. And of course, you have the best part, which is earning rewards by supporting the network that you're using. So I want to show you guys this video. You may have seen it on my Twitter if you follow me on Twitter, but I want everybody to see it here as well because it is absolutely astounding. And I really have to give all of the developers that have worked on this a huge pat on the back because it's a one of a kind, wonderful innovation. And it can be used in so many ways for other cryptocurrencies. And that's really, again, something we'll talk about in a little bit, a huge part of our plan moving forward. Let's run that video. So as you can see, you click new Divi node. I'm going to start a silver here. Pay your subscription, name your node. My name's not Mick, it's Nick. There we go. And confirm. Wait a few seconds. We'll probably put a little animation here, make it a little bit more fun when it actually comes out. But you guys get the idea right now. And boom. That's it. You're active. You know, you can see your rewards. You can see how much you're going to earn, how often you're going to earn. That's literally all it is. And you could ask some of our beta testers, was that real? Is that actually how it works? It is. It's actually how it works. It's actually that easy. It's still decentralized. There's no other mobile masternode that's like that. And this is going to be a game changer. We already have some of the top 100 masternode coins reaching out to us saying, how do I get into this? You know, how do you make our masternodes that easy? And we will, because that's a huge way to support the ecosystem of cryptocurrency, get more users on the wallet, and support, you know, a niche that we still believe in pretty wholeheartedly. So moving forward, you know, now that we've talked about the wallet and we've talked a little bit about what is coming, I want to get deeper into what is coming. So you may have seen that we announced recently that a new roadmap is up on the website, and it's beautiful. Our devs and our executive team have really worked together to create something that is hopefully really easily understood or easily understandable. You know, but I'll take you through it on my own just so that we make sure that everyone understands. Now, you can go to diviproject.org/roadmap and find this yourself, but I'm also sharing my screen here so that you can see it firsthand. So you have basically 3 sections. So you always that something, you know, what are we working on now? What will we be working on next? And then, of course, what is coming a little bit later. So obviously right now, the number one priority is the mobile wallet. You can sign up for early access if you click the link on the site. And right now it is in beta. The beta was launched in November, and we've continuously added new participants to that beta, and they are really enjoying what they're getting to play with. Recently, they got their hands on the earn feature, which I just discussed and showed you guys the demo of. That's the masternodes and the staking vaults that will be coming out in the next couple weeks for the testers. We'll also have, as you guys know, we're really, really heavily focused on, of course, user experience, but also customer experience. So we have, you know, in my opinion, and I've heard it from a lot of our community, one of the best customer service desks in the space. You know, it's 24/7 support that you can always reach out to. We even have a concierge service. They'll get on the phone with you. They'll screen share with you. They'll do everything they can to delight you by the end of the experience. So we will be implementing a brand new Zendesk experience within the wallet, and you'll actually probably see that roll out sooner than the wallet rollout, just because we are trying to get off Telegram. There's so many scammers on there, and we want to protect our users. And then right now we are also working on this financial institution partnership. Keep an eye on this page because that title will change to the name of the financial institution that we're working with in the very, very near future, hopefully within the next basically month. And you will start to see some of those capabilities in the wallet. And I think you guys will be incredibly excited by those capabilities. Now, obviously, you guys already know we own Redivi, right? So we have this financial technology institution that allows us to do a lot of the things that a bank would do. If you guys are new to the project, this is something that we acquired in 2019, and it's helped us get to the point where we're able to facilitate, you know, fiat on-ramp and off-ramp and transfers and things like that. Now, it works really well, and it does work in all of the countries basically in the world, except some of the obvious ones, Iran, you know, North Korea and those types. But we also have a huge community here in the United States where I live. And while the Redivi partnership is very, very good and accessible to those people, it is also important that we establish a presence here in the States. So this financial institution is a US institution that will allow for ACH transfers and all the things that you would expect from, your mobile banking or your mobile financial technology applications. Take a look at the roadmap when you get a chance, read through it, let us know what you think, and also keep an eye on it because it gets updated every single week. All right. While we're on the topic of the roadmap, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that is in our rearview mirror, some updates. First of all, we had a ton of momentum in 2020. In my opinion, it was one of our best years as far as actually building the company. The team grew exponentially. We got the actual beta of the wallet out there in people's hands, like I said, in November. And we're already onboarding more and more people. I hope to have hundreds and hundreds of people on this wallet over the next couple of weeks and months. We obviously launched the roadmap, which you guys just saw. We just launched a new blog. You guys should go check that out. It's beautiful. It's part of our forthcoming marketing strategy. It helps with SEO and all of those fun things. And actually, we're working right now on fixing our email. So for whatever reason, all of our emails started going to spam, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. So we actually have been working to resolve that issue, and we sent out an email to 400 people on that list. And so check your email, check your spam folder, check the promo folder, check all the different tabs in your Gmail and stuff, and see if you got the email. If you do, no matter where it went to, whether it went to spam or whatever, follow the instructions on the email. We would really appreciate it because it's all part of our marketing strategy in 2021. If we can't send emails to people, there's 17,000 people. We're going to check that in a second. Almost on the wallet sign up list. If we can't email those people, it's kind of a waste. So we really want to make sure that gets fixed. So please check your email. And I guess since I just talked about the numbers, we should jump into the numbers. Okay, so first things first, Masternodes, always growing. We've seen a few new diamonds come online. I think a few months ago we were at 28 diamonds, and now we're at 34 diamond nodes. That's a 10 million Divi per diamond node. Of course, we've seen a lot of growth in the lower tiers as well, and a lot of consolidation actually over the past couple months, really. It's really great to see this because it shows how strong the ecosystem is. It shows how many coins are actually allocated to that ecosystem. It's billions of coins that are allocated to these nodes and supporting the network. You really don't see that very often. We have a very, very dedicated community, and it is absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, we want to look at the wallet signups. 16,929 people organically have found the page and signed up for beta access and early information about the mobile wallet. We've done no marketing other than obviously the Live at 5 and some of the things that you guys see. Some influencers talk about it here and there or whatever. No paid media. This is all 100% organic. Imagine what happens when it's not just organic marketing. Imagine how many more people will be wanting to access and will be accessing, of course, the mobile wallet. I'm really excited about this because it's a lot of work. I've spent the last year and a half almost just figuring out how we're going to actually make this ecosystem run with our team, and it's just really important that it's perfect for those 17,000 people that have expressed interest. So enough with the updates. Let's talk about you guys. You guys actually participated in a competition over the past month to see who could become a new beta tester and win some Divi, some staking nodes. You guys were tasked with creating a video that brought Divi into the real world, and you guys really got creative. Unfortunately, we could only pick 3 of those videos, so we're going to pick them right now. We're going to start, of course, with third place. The third runner-up, who gets 10,000 Divi, is, drumroll please,
Divi is like a bicycle. It's fast, easy to use, and reliable. Not to mention, it's better for the environment. Many other cryptocurrencies are wasteful, using tons of energy to run their networks. With its energy-efficient proof-of-stake algorithm, Divi has the added benefit of making interest on your money just for holding it. So hop on and start riding, because Divi has a bright future ahead of it.
Awesome. Congratulations. You'll be getting 10,000 Divi and a beta access code. So look out for some outreach from our team. Let's check out place number 2. I think his name's Autogrillo or Autogrillo. I'm not sure how it's pronounced in Italy, but this video is pretty freaking cool. Let's give it a look. Dude, he just sent money, a tattoo off his mom's hand. Like, get out of here. That is the coolest thing. That is really, really cool, Otto. Excellent work. Congratulations. 20,000 Divi goes to Otto, and he gets that beta access code. Okay, so the person who made the first place winning video, she has absolutely crushed it. She's actually contributed to every contest that we've had. So I'm really excited to show this one, and congratulations on this 30,000 Divi winning video.
Hello?
Wow. Those nails were pretty fierce. I am, well, I'm not that jealous because I don't have nails like that, but I'm sure, all the girls out there watching and guys that wear nails as well are jealous of those super, super sick nails. Congratulations on winning 30,000 Divi and access to the beta. So, obviously, everyone put in a ton of work. We really, really want to thank everybody who contributed a video to this contest. If you didn't win, it was really, really difficult to decide. And, we always have more contests and better luck next time. And we actually have another contest to announce. So let's talk about this. Now, you guys probably have been following the news. Even if you're not following the news recently, if you're even just online at all, you're seeing the insane stuff that's going on with right now with Dogecoin, which is a meme coin that, it's an OG coin in the space. And if you've been around a while, you know that most of the time when Doge pumps, that signals an alt season. But I think this time it's just this Wall Street bets thing that has absolutely taken the world by storm. And we've seen some really, really disappointing behavior from some of the big tech and institutional finance companies like Robinhood, delisting assets just to serve themselves. And, that's what crypto is here for, right? We built these companies and these projects and these ecosystems to get away from these centralized services that can control and dictate and manipulate our ability to enrich ourselves as regular retail investors, as regular individuals who are just trying to make ends meet, especially in one of the most difficult times in the past 100 years financially for a lot of people in this country. It's absolutely appalling what Robinhood has done. So we want to actually make a little bit light of it. In times of trouble and tribulations and struggle, it's really good to get a little comic relief. So our next competition is actually going to be a meme competition. So we want you to make memes of why crypto, especially Divi, is a better investment than stocks and shares in traditional businesses, and why trading on platforms like Robinhood are not on their side. We want to attract people that have been burnt by this situation, that have, lost money due to them shutting down GME or shutting down AMC the other day. And we want to show them, that there is an alternative. There's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, and there's Divi. And if you can show them why even Divi is an alternative that's best, you'll probably get a few extra points. Get creative, be funny, and actually you can enter as many memes as you want. Just make sure you hashtag Divi contest and post it online on Twitter, and have fun and good luck. I think this is going to be a really, really fun competition. Okay. It's been about 30 minutes. So we usually do 5 after 5 with Jeff. So we're going to do 30 after 5 with Jeff, my best friend and business partner in Divi. Let's jump into a little conversation, see what's going on. Okay, so before we jump into this, I want to remind everybody that we are going to do an AMA right after this. So try to save your questions up until that point. And I'll let you guys know, 5 minutes before we get into the AMA, just so that we don't lose anyone's questions. We want to make sure that everyone's questions do get answered. So what's up, Jeff? Have you had, it's been awesome having you here. Sorry. Now everyone can hear you. It's been awesome having you here in town, the past week. So I'll quickly let them know. Jeff came into town with our COO as well, who's also named Jeff Packard, to basically work on operationalizing our strategic goals. Getting all the different pieces of this very complex puzzle into a very succinct place that we can execute on, because 2021 is all about delivery, right?
Yeah.
So, thanks again for joining me.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have so many good ideas. I think that a lot of people that know our space, that are watching other sort of visionaries in the space, look at us as sort of an idea factory. And so because Nick and I and a lot of people we work with are so creative, we have so many good things that we want to do. And so having somebody like JP, Jeff Packard, sort of nailing it all down into a single document, for the year, it's painful, having to ignore certain things that we're really excited about. but it's so important. And I'm so glad that he was here to do that, because he loves to create charts and lists and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So for us, Nick and I are so busy with so many different things. So to have him on board has been fantastic. And bringing him in was really interesting, because he just sort of started volunteering. He loved Divi. He had a bunch of it, and he started volunteering to help us. And pretty soon he just made himself indispensable.
Right.
Like, we had no choice. We had to hire him.
It's crazy, because he came to me. He's like, hey, I found you guys on, I think he found us on Bitcoin Ben. And I really want to show you this presentation that I've made about Divi, because I'm trying to, wrap my head around all of the different facets of the ecosystem and everything. And he shows me this presentation that looks like we could have made it, like, with as much detail as you would know if you were part of the team. And I was like, do you have a job right now? Like, you got to be part of us. So yeah, I mean, it's been awesome having you guys in town, and we got so much done just over the past week. Basically, we just went into a black hole and, turned our phones off and literally just grinded it out for 5 straight days on a, business plan for 2021. And you're going to start seeing a lot of those decisions and strategies actually being executed on soon.
Yeah, we talked about this. It's not the same doing it on Zoom.
No.
When we're actually in person, and we can, take a short break and have a beer,
Right.
go out to dinner and keep talking. And also, when you're on a Zoom, you're trying to get through stuff and you don't want to get sidetracked. But when you have a lot of time, those sidetracks are important. You can really drill into the details. You can really take the time to just go through all of these sort of side issues that can be important, that help us make the right decision. And we're really looking forward to, I think, doing this on a yearly basis, or maybe even a quarterly basis, trying to get together and have Zoe and some of the other members as well.
Yeah, it's important to have that time in person. But, you and I didn't have that time in person to begin with. When we started the project, a lot of people always ask me, like, how the hell do you and Jeff come together? Like, what is this unlikely duo doing, building this project together? I mean, I guess we could talk about that a little bit. Like, I guess it was a mutual friend, right?
Yeah. So I was the first investor in a project called Nimic, and which is still a great coin. And a friend of mine that I'd known for a long time in Costa Rica was doing that. And we got excited about it. We saw what they did, but we sort of thought of a different way to approach a similar idea of making things easy and creating, a better Bitcoin, really, what it came down to, based on sort of the difficulties of just using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And so we ended up getting together and just sort of reached out to everybody we knew. And so this guy, Chris, knew a few people, and somehow they knew you, Nick, right? So They hired you to help with the website or something?
Yeah, it's funny because the guy that introduced me to Jeff was somebody that I knew through my old profession, my old vocation, which was music. I was a professional producer and DJ. Some people know this, some don't. And, I was doing a lot of technology work on the side, because for whatever reason, producing and DJing doesn't make you a ton of money unless you're super famous. So, they made this introduction and just said, hey, I know you're into crypto. I've been trading for probably like 2 years up to that point. And we need a website. And they were like, let's put together this WordPress website. And I was like, I'll do the WordPress site, but you guys should really consider, making a custom site. I mean, it's a high technology company. You want to give the best foot forward or whatever. And I think that's probably the first time we argued. Yeah. But, it wasn't always a straightforward path. I think we always shared the vision of making crypto easy, creating a place where people could access and earn cryptocurrency, no matter who they were, no matter, their skill level and everything. But I think we've tried to approach it from different ways. And I mean, there's been so many challenges along the way. I mean, even just the bank account thing. Yeah. Right. Like,
it was so hard to just get a bank account.
Right. I mean, we couldn't even find a lawyer to begin with. We're like, all right, maybe if we can find a lawyer, they can get us a bank account, because they'll know the laws and stuff. And then,
Yeah, look, we found this great lawyer in New York that I went to New York and met with this guy, and he was so excited about Divi and all this. And then, we didn't have cash. We only had Bitcoin and Ethereum, and his firm wouldn't let him take it.
Right.
So he was so sad. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't take your business. I want to work for you guys, but my firm won't let us take it and just convert it.
Yeah.
It was that difficult to try to just get things paid for.
I know.
It was amazing.
And it's funny too, because if you think about all of the things that we're trying to solve, how we've had to deal with them, like even just the ICO, right? I remember like saying like, okay, you gotta like get MetaMask and then you gotta like get Ethereum from Coinbase and send it and this and that. And they're like, dude, this is so hard.
They would get mad at me. They're like, I thought you're making crypto easy. And I'm like, well, no,
We're
it's
trying
not
to-
easy. That's the whole point.
And yeah, I mean, to go from, and of course, all of the, development tribulations and all of the, I'll never forget when we went to New York and we were meant to do all of this media. And it was when we were supposed to launch the first desktop wallet and Mochi.
Yeah.
And we get to, we were promised by our dev team, we're kind of like getting around the process of how to manage our own team at that point. We get to New York and like nothing works. And we're supposed to go on like CNBC and Cheddar and Bold and all these things. Yeah. And it was devastating. But, going from there and not even being able to get a bank account to now owning a financial institution that can provide bank accounts to people or IBANs. I mean, that is, it's really meaningful, to find somebody through a mutual friend in a completely different world. You're in Costa Rica, I'm in San Diego, and build this thing together. It's been quite the journey.
Well, it's actually better that way. If we had known each other and been friends, it probably wouldn't have worked as well because you have this pre-existing relationship and all this. Because we didn't know each other, we built the whole relationship around a shared goal of success, no matter what. And I knew right away among all the partners that we start out with that Nick was by far the most talented. I don't know if you remember me telling you that, like, someday you're going to be famous in this space, or you just keep doing this. You're so talented and all this. Because I'm older. I've done a lot of business for a long time, and I've worked with a lot of amazing people. So I recognized early on, and I think gave a lot of encouragement to Nick early on. Just keep pushing. It doesn't matter that you're young. If you're really smart and you're driven and Nick was working 7 days a week and still is a lot of the time. we went without salaries for a long time and that kind of thing. And we have, horror stories. I'm not going to divulge them all now, but someday when the book comes out, we'll name names and all you people are going to suffer that screwed us over. So.
Yeah, it's so many people in my position, I think, would have killed me to have a mentor and guidance like that from, I just turned 28 the other day. And by the way, thank you all so much for all of the amazing messages that you guys sent me. We started this when I was, I guess, 24, right? And to have that kind of guidance at that age and have that kind of confidence behind you, because, I had a couple small businesses that did okay and maybe they didn't. But to have some of your experience, and I think that's what drove so much of our success with like networking and stuff. Because when we would go to a conference or something, it's like, all right, you got like the young guy who kind of knows maybe he knows social media or maybe he's a dev or whatever. And you got this older guy who is really experienced and has successful businesses and has exited successful businesses. I feel like that's a great duo. And I feel like, a part of that is why we have gotten to where we are.
Yeah. I think actually my experience in so many different strange businesses, from real estate to I had 30 retail stores at one point. I had factories in China. I did product design for my own companies. I designed thousands of products. So I had this huge wide range of experience. And so when we think about crypto, I think about it in terms of products, and so that helps. And Nick being younger, it's really good because he's much more in touch. Like I still sometimes feel like I'm an old man watching Nick use his phone and like this. And I'm like, looking for this. And of course, my daughter is 14, is even faster, It's really incredible to watch the difference. But I think that when you really look at it, there's kind of a yin and yang thing that goes on where we both cover two different things. Now, I used to be a developer. We were called programmers back then. When I was in high school, I was president of a high school computer club, and I went to national computer programming competitions and that kind of stuff. But I hadn't done any real development since college. So having Nick having that experience and focusing on that while I focus more on relationship building and business aspects, it's been really good.
Yeah, it has been an incredible experience. And I still always feel like it's just getting started. We've been doing it now 3.5 years roughly. And I feel like we have such a long track ahead of us.
Yeah.
And with the mobile wallet so close now, I can I'm starting to see it so much clearer. And especially with this week with JP and you, seeing how we go from today, or let's say, the launch day to the end of the year where all these new coins are on the wallet and we have partnerships with, other projects in the space and we have all of these users, like it's all just like, okay, well, I just got to kind of wait out the time at this point. That's the only barrier to getting there. It's no longer a barrier of money. Like we struggled so much with funding in the beginning. We didn't raise a ton of money from our ICO, so we had to bootstrap so much of it, not taking salaries and things like that. And now when all of these things are kind of coming together, it's like, all right, I think we can freaking do this. Like I see it happening. So it's just been absolutely an incredible experience. Now I know we're getting toward almost an hour here, so let's start taking some questions in from the community. If you guys have any questions at all about today's episode or about just crypto in general or about Divi, throw them in the chat here and we will be happy to answer them. We always appreciate you guys joining us every Friday night. Well, it's Friday night for us, but I know for some people it's like the morning, like 2 a.m. And we have a global community, which is fantastic. So let's see if we get any questions in here. We'll see what happens. And when are you going back?
Well, I'm leaving on the 4th. I'm flying to Puerto Rico. So if anybody out there is in Puerto Rico, I'll be there from the 4th until the 16th and would love to have a beer or hang out and talk Divi, talk crypto, or talk about almost any subject.
Sweet. Okay, so Will Mack has a good question. Here, I'll click for you. When will Divi get on a tier 1 exchange? Well, I think...
so I'm actually talking to a tier 1 exchange right now. And can't say which it is. We don't have anything signed, but the price they quoted us is something we can afford. So we're getting pretty excited about that. Okay. We've had these kind of opportunities before. They didn't work out for various reasons. You get to the end. A lot of these exchanges are very corrupt. And, they've thrown boomerangs at us before where we think we're going to get listed and then something goes wrong or they jack up the price or they make some impossible requirement. So we're very excited about it. And did we mention the small exchange that we are listed on? Have you mentioned it?
The Indian one?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah. So we have one called Buyucoin, Buyucoin.
That's it.
It's a small exchange in India. I think it's like number 3 in India. And they're in the process of adding Divi right now. We're really excited about that. I know nobody's ever heard of Buyucoin, but it's well known in India. And India, I believe, is the most important market in the world right now for crypto because it has more users for crypto potential than any other country in the world. And it's very early stages. So by being in that exchange, we're going to, we think, have sort of a leg into this really important and growing market. While everybody else is fighting over highly competitive areas, sometimes it's better to go into a place that's not as competitive, that's growing. And it is going crazy right now in India. It's growing faster than any other market in the world, I believe, with crypto. So it's really good to be there. And we have other partnerships in India that we're working on. That
kind of part of a bigger
yeah, so we have a bigger plan for India, but all the other partners needed a local exchange where people can buy Divi. Now, in this exchange, it's actually going to be listed against the Indian currency, not against Bitcoin. So that means people can come in with their cash and just buy Divi, and they can start running their nodes.
Nice.
So hopefully we'll be able to roll out a bunch of partnerships, and you'll be seeing a lot of interviews. It's great because in India they speak English, so it's easier than, say, doing China or even Costa Rica or a Spanish-speaking or a country like Brazil where we don't speak Portuguese. So India is a really, really good opportunity for us right now, and we're going to go for it.
So yeah, there you have it. Tier 1 exchange in the talks, and we have that Indian exchange, part of a bigger strategy. Okay, Zachary Love asks, any new partnerships or possible partnerships you can discuss? Well, possible partnerships we cannot discuss because they're possible until Penn hits. So we've kind of taken a different approach this year. Really started like in November or December. We will not discuss anything that doesn't have pen on paper. So yes, there's a ton of stuff going on, a lot of partnerships and amazing things that will be coming out. But we're just not going to play that game anymore. You know, the pre-announcement, the pre-announcement, game. That's 2017, 2018 crap. We're a real company, we're a real project with real goals and strategies, and when those partnerships come to fruition, you best believe you'll know about it.
Mm.
Ryan Berg asks, can you shed any light on the wrapped Divi concept?
Yeah, so wrapped Divi is part of the Divi Everywhere project. Divi Everywhere project is about putting Divi anywhere and everywhere. Now, a subset of that is what I call XDivi, where X kind of represents the network, such as eDivi for Ethereum or CDivi for Cardano. We're working right now on just making sure that Divi is anywhere somebody wants to use it, so any application. So here's sort of a strange example where we have a guy right now who's building smart contracts and set up a Wax node to do a wrapped Divi for the Wax blockchain, and nobody's doing that. Like, I don't even think there's a wrapped Bitcoin on Wax. And the Wax team, the Wax people, they don't even know we're doing that. We're just kind of working on it. And the reason for that is, it should be obvious if you think about it. All these amazing NFTs, which are a giant sort of space is developing. It's going to be a $100 billion market in a few years, and Wax is one of the market leaders, if not the market leader. If we want to build NFTs on the Wax blockchain, we want people to be able to buy and sell them or include Divi in them, but they're two different blockchains. So in order to make that happen, we need to have a Divi that's sitting on the Wax blockchain so that the smart contracts for Wax can use Divi in them. And that creates a new use case for Divi itself. And since nobody else is doing that, other companies can do that. We have very high staking rewards, so it becomes very attractive to people that are building different apps and NFTs for Wax to use Divi in their apps. And we're also, in the process of building 2 different applications that will use Wax blockchain, which are, the Lightning Work comic books that we're doing and Siege World's video game. These are sort of, to some extent, they're tech demos, but the quality of the products we're developing is also really great. And they'll use Wax and they'll use Divi that's on Wax.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, there's other wrapped initiatives going on as well, as we know, like Zap, and that's still going on. And there's another one that we haven't put pen to paper to yet, so we can't talk about it. But lots of really cool things there, because it's just something that's necessary, I think, for interoperability. Okay, Ben Harvey, if the app is downloaded and a node run, does it take power and or internet from the phone, or is it purely staking the coins to help run the network? So yeah, that's what's really groundbreaking about this technology that we've built, because both the Masternodes and the staking nodes, which we call staking vaults on the phone or on your mobile app, are just not only just decentralized, but take absolutely no power from your phone. So we've actually patented a piece of technology that we call Mochi 2.0, just as a working title, which allows for the remote broadcast of Masternodes. You can find this in our Divi core code base right now if you want. And it allows for your local light client to sign and send transactions to another node that actually broadcasts and does all of the allocation transactions and things that you see if you're using Mochi on your desktop wallet today. So all those steps can actually be done, because really the only step that you need for security is the signature, right? Everything else is just a process that the blockchain can handle on its own. So we've created this remote broadcast masternode system so that, no, it doesn't actually require any power from your phone. And similarly with staking vaults, you just have a spending key and a vault key. So the keys are really the most important thing when it comes to a blockchain wallet. And most of the other transactional stuff can actually be done by another node.
Nick and I were going over the staking vault technology we've developed. It was added to the blockchain with our hard fork at the end of the year, and it's really remarkable. Like the use cases that we can develop with this that nobody else has. I was even surprised. Like I didn't really fully understand it until Nick drew it out on a piece of paper for me, and I was like, "Wow! Like this is amazing." Like we have this.
Yeah. It's the type of thing that coins like Polkadot will want to use, because I've heard that their staking is really high volume and everything, but it's not necessarily like the best for the users or whatever. So there are other coins. First of all, we believe in the multi-coin future, right? We think cryptocurrency will be everywhere and that people will kind of choose different coins to use. just like they choose different cars and different computers and things like that. So we see that these other communities will probably want to use the technology that we are starting to release, which of course at the end of the year, December, we put out a huge hard fork, and you can find that changelog on our GitHub. It's really, really immensely important. Although, it's kind of slept on right now because it probably does need to be illustrated a little bit better.
Yeah, people actually have no idea how important staking is. Even a year ago, there were all of a sudden all of these staking companies popped up. And so people that know about staking, they just know that, you get some more coins. But there's a lot of interesting use cases that staking has that have not really been thought about. And I just did an interview at the Blockchain Center today. I think they have like a sort of full day video of it that you can watch, but they're going to chop it up into pieces. And they said it'll take about a week. But I really got a chance to talk more in detail about the importance of staking, things that I think nobody is talking about. I talked to a lot of people, a lot of other visionaries. They're just not thinking about staking. They think of it as just a simple thing that you do like a Masternode to earn coins, but they don't realize how many other things you can do with this technology and what it can, and the disruption it can cause across an entire spectrum of sort of financial services. So I think that everybody that is, listening to this should start thinking more in terms of staking as like a really big deal.
Yeah.
And what's fun about Divi is that we have 3 different staking mechanisms going on at once in our coin that make it really sort of dynamic and allow for a lot of really interesting sort of interactions between those and other coins. So what you're going to see in the future is staking become a very important element. I'm even predicting that staking is so important for cryptocurrencies from a branding point of view that I think government currencies, when they come out, will have a hard time competing because they don't have staking.
Yeah.
What I was saying, one of the things I was saying is that, money supplies are expanding. But when in fiat, those rewards aren't going to the people that hold the money. They're going to the tier 1 banks.
And the 0.01% of people.
Yeah, exactly. And the super wealthy. What cryptocurrency does with staking is that the expanding money supply is going to all the people. I've never heard anybody say that before, but that's a lot of really important things fall out of that for the future. As these 2 ecosystems, fiat versus cryptocurrencies, begin to clash, there's a branding element for earning money just by holding it that fiat cannot compete with.
Right.
And
but it used to, right? You used to actually have a savings account. Like you'd set a savings account up for your kid, and it would earn enough. And by the time they're 18, they actually have a little something to get themselves on their feet for college or whatever they end up doing at that age. That ain't the case anymore, right? It's
right.
We've inflated the dollar to the point of.
But even then, to get that, you had to loan your money you have to give your money to the bank.
To the bank, right?
With staking, you can keep the money yourself, and yet you're getting that interest, right?
Exactly.
And so that's pretty amazing.
And it never leaves your ownership.
Yeah, and if you watch my interview, I talked about some of the use cases for that, and it's really interesting on the Blockchain Center one that I did today.
Just today.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
We'll find a link for that and put it in the description of this video.
Okay.
Okay, so Borislav I'm not even going to try the last name. Borislav asks, instead of to create eDivi on Ethereum with high fees, why not create Divi, Binance BEP2 token, and have a DEX exchange and swap for Divi? So I know what you're going to say for this, but I'll also just put my 2 cents in, or my 2 Divi in. Well, first of all, Ethereum does have high fees today, but the ETH 2.0 will change that drastically. I know that it's taken a long time for them to get it out there, but it eventually will come out. But it's also important, I think, that, we might have 2 Divis on Ethereum. We might have the Wax Divi. We might have the BEP2 token. We want it to be everywhere. And we may not even be behind all of these initiatives, but we're putting it out there because it is open source. If you have the ability, you could go out there and create that yourself. And I do think that, decentralized exchanges are incredibly important, especially as we've seen centralized exchanges in the traditional and crypto markets kind of taking controls that they shouldn't.
Yeah. Uniswap is really changing everything in a lot of ways. There's a lot of people in traditional finance. We were approached by a quant who's in the space, not in crypto, but he's seen what's going on in Uniswap, and they're shocked. I mean, they're scared actually about this. And I was talking to a lawyer and with Michael Turpin a couple of days ago, and the lawyer was telling us that the government's going to be going after Uniswap fairly soon, and they'll end up with a $400 to $500 million fine. But he said, but don't worry, they'll pay it off, right, and business will not be interrupted whatsoever. And the SEC will absolutely go after them. They're doing exactly the same thing that Ether Delta did, but just on a more massive scale and doing it much better. So, but
that's how disruptive technology works, right?
Yeah. So like the quant that I talked to, it was saying that all the way that their entire business works of taking all this data and then charging people fees and becoming a centralized entity in between buyers and sellers and convincing, that's all ending. He said that's all going away because of Uniswap. So he was very interested in putting stocks and bonds and all of this into tokenized versions, using their technology, using Uniswap, and they approached us because they love Divi. And they said, you guys are the only ones that understand the importance of making this user friendly, because all his clients are all older, all the billionaires and all these people, they're older. They don't like Bitcoin and they don't like the way wallets run. Even Coinbase is too complicated for them. Yeah. So they want something really simple. And so they're very interested in working with us. So we're getting approached by people like this, because of our user friendly. And I knew this would happen, early on. I knew that once adoption started happening, all the big companies will come in and they're going to look for the ones to work with.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we said in the very beginning. That's why we have so much confidence in this project, not just because we are behind it, but it from the beginning has been the answer to so many unanswered questions that a lot of people just started asking. Right. And I think it's yeah, that's a great point. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got Zachary Love. He runs a golden copper node. Congrats, that's awesome. Do you feel it's important for your node owners to also be staking? Meaning, would this help us, both us and the user, along with Divi? Yeah, if you can. Obviously, right now, staking does require 100% uptime. Potentially, you have to kind of keep your eye on it a little bit more than your masternode. But that said, it is very important for any crypto ecosystem to have their proof mechanism running and having support under that proof mechanism. Now, we found that there are a lot of coins staking, but there should always be more. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a requirement, but if you can, you definitely should, because it's also another way to earn more Divi.
Yeah. It also depends on what you mean by whether I should and whether it's important, right? To us, it's important because the staking nodes are actually the ones that are writing the blocks. But there's also a right number of staking nodes. We don't know what that is. When you first entered this space, it was kind of this idea the more nodes, the better. But then we find out, oh, well, that's actually not true. There's actually a right number. And if you have too many, then it's very difficult for them to all communicate with each other. Imagine you had 1 million staking nodes. You have this problem that's actually never been really fully tested. Yeah. And it was actually Yuri, our blockchain developer that built our blockchain, was the one that pointed this out to me, that if you have too many nodes, it's also not good. So what we're doing now is have this new sort of staking technology, the staking vaults, that I think is going to help us sort of right size the correct number of staking nodes. Now, we could do probably a lot more staking nodes than we're doing now. We don't know what the limit is, but we do know it's definitely not true that the more the better, right? Right. There's going to be a right number that we're going to hit, and we'll be able to use the staking nodes and sort of create the right balance to make sure the network is as strong as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I guess maybe take one or two more. So we have Robert Vickers, and I know I've seen your name around here before, so thank you always for joining us each week. So you have a financial company. Is it possible to have an automatic savings option? Say, have that company take $100 USD per month and send it automatically into a wallet. Yeah, that's 100% possible, both through our financial institution that we already own, Divi, and through the incoming financial institution partnership, both. And it will we'll set it up so that it's as easy for your jurisdiction as possible. If you're in the US, you'll use the new partner. If you're outside the US, you'll probably use Divi.
One of the things I'm excited about with that kind of idea is that's the kind of idea that not many people would probably use. So we may not actually build that. However, the platform that we're building will allow people in the future to build their own extensions to our wallet. So somebody like you might need this. You might build it and share it or sell it to other people that need that. And so that's where our whole wallet ecosystem is going, is making it into a platform that others can develop on. And so you can make all these sort of niche uses and tools that others can use.
Sure, definitely. So yeah, Clubhouse, this new, I guess, like social media audio app, Clubhouse, is gaining popularity. I got an invite the other night, and so Ryan asks, when is your first Clubhouse speaking event? We actually did talk about this, and with our CMO and some of the guys in the internal team who actually are using Clubhouse. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great idea. I think we're probably going to set up our own, I think they're called rooms or space, or whatever. Or is it Clubhouse? I don't know.
I'd heard about it, and Ryan sent me a message, and then we started talking about it. Like, hey, this is a great idea. But that's one of the cool things about Divi is we're very accessible. You know, we're not just talking to you, but we're also talking to all of our fans and users, and we take your ideas very seriously, right?
I mean, imagine being able to do, like, I don't know if it's a two-way thing. Honestly, I haven't gotten into using Clubhouse like directly yet, but I kind of browsed around it. I mean, how cool would it be to do an AMA like this, where like they can actually ask, you know, not type, but hey, you know, and we can answer direct. I think that's like such a unique way of engaging with people. So yeah, we'll definitely set up a room, and we'll let you guys know about that. You want to do one more? This is a great question. I was actually looking at this one. I'm glad you clicked. Don Dondi asks, when do you see Divi back in the top 100? Will this be when paid promotion and marketing begins? And which quarter will we expect the wallet to be made public? So we obviously have no control over the price of Divi or the market cap. We do believe that, you know, execution and delivery are somewhat correlated to the price and things like that. And I don't know if we're allowed to make the...
Well, the thing is, people ask us these kind of questions, but a lot of people are not aware. If we sound like we're evasive, you know, like we're politicians here, it's because we're not allowed to talk about the future value of Divi. I mean, everybody has expectations that we all know you want the price to go up, and we want the price to go up. But what we can't say is making any kind of predictions about when the price would go up or doing that kind of thing. That can get us into a lot of trouble. So if we sound evasive when you ask these type of questions, and people ask us this every day, that's why. It's not because we're evasive people. We want to be transparent.
I want to say what I'm thinking, but I can't. But okay, so the other part of the question is, which quarter will we expect the wallet? Now, I'm not going to say the exact day or week or quarter or whatever, but what I can say is, if you back up in this video a little bit, you'll see that some of the features are being tested right now that are in the first release. If you go to our roadmap, you can see the release schedule a little bit. There, you know, it's 1.0.1, 1.0.2. You can start to probably put together when you're going to have your hands on the actual app. Again, I'm not going to say the words, but you should be able to, if you're smart enough, you're a little bit savvy, figure it out. So hopefully that, I was intentionally being evasive on that one. and we
did just hire another developer too. So
that's right.
That'll help us go faster.
Dion Hewlett is coming on board this next month, which is like tomorrow, 2 days from now. And so we expect even further acceleration, but he's not really going to affect release 1. That's already pretty much locked in. But he will affect some of the coming releases. And we've actually been able to, you know, contract that timeline, which we're really excited about. All right. So I know that we probably didn't answer every single question. I wish that we could. I would sit here all night if I could. But I think that would make a really boring video for a lot of people. So we're going to call it, and we will try to answer your questions next time. I just have to say, you know, thank you guys so much for joining us every single month for the Live at 5. You know, it's something that we try to do for the community. If you have any feedback, we always appreciate that. I want to thank Jeff, of course, for coming and joining me, Frisco for running the show behind the scenes, and of course, all of our team at Divi for making all of these incredible things happen. If you're not following Divi on social media, you should be. It's at Divi Project all across the web. Make sure you hit that follow. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm Nick Zapanero, and I will see you guys next time.